Welcome back to Saga of Three Kings. Got a new frame up. Got cool pictures and icons for those who are watching. If anyone probably know, and who cares, whatever. But you can match the people to it better now that their pictures are on the screen there for you. Great. Anyways, last session they completed the exploration of the Magier's Tower, stopped the magic that caused the tower to give purple light its moniker. Um, the light is now gone. The town seems to be a bit more calm and sociable. Mentioning the matter to the Curios has resulted in them moving to the tower to investigate the claims that it has been cleared of the foulness that plagued it. And it seems that the Curios' intent is to move him and his family into that location, as it appears that that was originally the seat of power for the town. That said, the group has had time to muster enough time to kind of relax, get some hit points back, heal up, and they are planning their next move, sitting around a table in the tavern of Percolite. That said, I leave it to you. The only other people in the tavern besides you are a couple of just merchants, and looks like two humans and a dwarf, the barkeep, and there is a kind of a loner sitting at the bar by himself. But yeah, table's yours.
A job well done, everyone. I know that we have many plans, but rest and relaxation is definitely one that I believe we all need. As he sips tea, kind of shaky still.
Here, here, Benson, as Grok sips a big fat ale.
So, where to next for everyone? I don't know if heading back home for some study and some definitely downtime would be good, or if you all had something else. What are your plans?
We have important decisions before us. We need to stop the ritual. We need to figure out how much the Red Scarves know about Roderick and his location.
We do. Um, is this something that everyone would like to do, or do we know where they're at, or our next step, or what you feel would be best, Sir Brock?
What kind of ritual is it?
I mean, we haven't discussed this as a group, or no?
I haven't heard anything of it.
So then, in very hushed whispers, sort of looking around carefully to make sure there's no listeners, are there people that are looking at us, John?
The merchants are very into their conversation and their cups. In fact, you can kind of hear spilling out of what they're talking about. Based on what you're hearing, it sounds like they're traveling up into the Ice Fangs. They're heading to Bonrock, and that's the first time anyone here has heard the name of the Dwarvish settlement in the mountains that's been mentioned before. That said, they seem to be absolutely oblivious to any other parties in the tavern. The loner at the bar is apparently 5 or 6. You can't tell based on the stacking or positioning of the cups he has. Drinks into his evening. He has a travel bag next to him, and kind of next to that is a massive greatsword, very ornate styling of its hilt, and it looks like kind of silver patterning to the crossguard. Very ornate, very fancy looking sword. But he's kind of looks like he's playing heads up, 7 up, and every so often raising himself off the table or off the bar top to drink more. And the barkeep seems to be kind of just reading a book idly.
So after that, yeah, go ahead.
He would have stated to the group, drinks are on me for the rest of the evening. Anything you want to eat is yours. I've heard about what you've done for the souls within the Magier's Tower, and I can't thank you enough.
The barkeep, right?
The barkeep, the one that was
okay.
feeding the undead.
John Waters.
The one that was feeding the undead in the place.
Oh, okay. So in a hushed, sort of hushed whispers, Grok would sort of pull out the map and fold it up. Um, John, is the location where we know Roderick is on the map?
You don't know where Roderick is.
We don't know where Roderick. I thought we knew where he was.
You know where he last
we had
was.
an inkling that he was near Bellum.
Okay.
To the
And how do
south.
we know that, Zach?
I don't recall.
So his father,
Apology.
Eric Galagos, comes from Bellum. He's a member of the court of merchants that sit in power in Bellum. His son, presumably, was located there.
Yeah. So Grok would explain to Brooklyn what he knows about the Red Scarf's desire to have a ritual that brings back Ashmedea, and how bad that would be. And Grok's goal, especially because he's a servant of Oru, one of the other dragons, is a good one, is to stop that. And he would say that I think our quests might not be as separate as you think. If we learn depending on what we learn about what the Red Scarves know about Roderick, we might have time for you to complete your quest, and you might have more power to help us stop the ritual.
Yeah, because we have the marking of where that it had like the where Hazel was, right, on Grok's map.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, to the northwest.
Should be marked on the map as Mount Ruby Eye, top left corner.
Ruby Eye. Okay. Couldn't read that against the snow on the background.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure out a way to
I
get
thought
it.
it said ribeye.
I could. That sounds great.
That sounds good. Wasn't part of their plan with the ritual to actually destroy Oru? Was that not a thing?
Yes.
Okay. So Brooklyn, Oru's a green dragon who's the protector of the lands where we all hail from. Grok is most intimately familiar with him, and he's responsible for essentially bringing Raya back to life.
Okay.
So we may or may not owe that guy some favors.
Understandable.
As far as what we do now, I think we should be looking for any information regarding where the Red Scarves may be, if there are other encampments, other...
Quick correction, sorry. Crimson scarves. I know
Crimson
red and
scarves.
crimson are the same thing. but
I've done it many times, sorry.
Yeah, I said it wrong too.
it's okay. Just making sure we moving forward.
So these Crimson Scarves, I feel like we should try to find some and get some information out of them.
On that,
How we go about doing that, I have no idea.
on that, you would know that Purple Light has been purged of them. They have been removed. The paladin that went in before you was charged by the Curious to have access to the tower, to basically imprison all of them. So they are either incarcerated under the Curious's manse or dead.
I would ask, because this character's not on the sheet anymore, wouldn't Steven might have some idea on where they might be? He seems to be
Gondor.
Gundor. That's what Gondor. He seems to be very well in tune to the workings of large groups.
So the last time you saw Gondar or heard anything about him was when you went to Mudis for a short time while everyone else continued on to the Redoubt. That time where you, as a person, were away from the game. Gondar has moved away from Mudis, and his honor-bound have small stationary presence in their manse near Mudis, but they've taken Fort Phalanx as their primary location of control and power. The presumption on your end, because you're a pretty smart cookie, is that Gondar has goals to re-site Mortis, the town that was taken out by the plague, and also make sure that Bulwark is a connecting presence there.
But wasn't the first time when we saw them at the readout, didn't he recognize one of the Crimson Scarves?
Gondar wasn't.
Just-
Gondar wasn't at the redoubt. He never went.
Okay.
Steve-
I thought he recognized him.
The redoubt was the place with like the weird dwarven hold that you found Calareth the first time.
Right. Calareth is the big bad Crimson Scarf.
Where was the crow guy then?
That was at Bulwark.
That's where I'm talking about.
And that's-
Didn't he recognize one of them there?
No, his intent right now is to take control of Bulwark, the honor bound, and basically hold control of the northern portion of the Modus region.
Okay, I was misunderstood then.
No problem.
Wrong.
So Grok would say a couple of more things if we can for a moment. If we've learned that part of the ritual is killing Uru and using its heart to bring back Ashmedea, then we should send back word somehow to him or to his protectors to be more on guard than ever. And then second, we also know that there are some emissaries of the dragons, knights, that are roaming around, and that's another potential avenue for us to explore.
So real quick to your first point, you've already basically put Oru and the Sentinels on high alert when you found the cold iron weapons in the redoubt and sent
Right.
message back with Leon. So
Okay.
that's fine. That's already been handled. The second point, yes, there are a number of knights who are traveling about. You can discuss those more fully. But as of now, you know kind of where one might be, and you know kind of where one was, but you don't know where they are, or really what their modus operandi is.
St. Mishrael, got any input? You want to smooth things over with the Kyrios here? See if he has any of those prisoners laying around?
I would ask Brooklyn to cast Detect Undead.
It would be Divine Sense is what you'd be using.
So that
There's no dead here.
at all.
They're all gone.
Even the catacombs and such that were like screaming out to everybody before.
Yeah, so remember that your last paladin had a sense of it being the case. Divine Sense, as a trigger, doesn't allow you to see through walls and stuff to see those undead. But I said that the undead were so numerous, like in the catacombs and the
Right.
like, that it was like leaking out the auras of them. When Rooklyn uses Divine Sense, because I presume he did so when he entered the town, it's very different. It's night and day. Night being when the undead were present, and day being now once the tower is no longer powered.
Yeah, when I came into town, I didn't sense anything undead.
No, you would have sensed when you came into town,
Yeah.
because the purple light
tower.
was drawing of the undead
The
here.
place feels better to you now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
John,
He has a
do we know what kind of cultists might be involved with the Bronze Dragon? I'm looking at the notifications and the Bronze Shrine.
sure. So that
Would they be Crimson Scarves as well?
Crimson Scarves and the Cult of the Dragon are two separate things. They operate functionally the same in tandem, but the presumption is that the Crimson Scarves are being hired by the Cult of the Dragon, just so as the conglomerate remnants are working in tandem with those as well. They are not one group. It's not like a football team. It is a series of groups that are working together towards the ends of the leader of the Dragon Cult, whose name is Calareth. Calareth is not a
Dragon
Crimson
Cult.
Scarf.
Dragon Cult seems to have subjugated everybody else and is forcing
Cool.
them to do this stuff.
Correct. That is the best word to describe what's happening here.
Yeah, I'll head to the guard tower
Okay.
and try to speak with the head there and see if they have any prisoners.
The prisoners were sent away not long after they were taken in. They were sent to Bluegate on command of the Kyrios. They traveled with an entourage of guards who headed that way. It seems that matters in the city of Bluegate have required the Crimson Scarves be taken there for summary execution.
Oh, that sucks.
Yes, it seems that the Kyrios there has it well out for the Crimson Scarves, and that is why our orders, not along with our own problems therein, but the main muster for why we took the Crimson Scarves in and gave that paladin that goal to go and deal with them all is mainly because of the charges put against them and their crew from the city of Bluegate. It's about a day and a half's travel to Bluegate, by the way, if you're trying to figure out distance there, Zach.
Just looking.
For you, you could probably get there a bit quicker, but you would leave everyone behind at the dusk.
Just looking.
Just letting you know.
I like to take measurements. That's all.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll take that information back and spread it around.
All right.
So, Brooklyn, you're still set on doing your quest first, or?
I don't think Asmodeus was a demon or something like that.
Ashmedea. Let's go ahead and cover that real quick because you are trained in religion. So, sorry for some of you who might have overheard this before, but I just want to make sure he is up to speed and snuff. Ashmedea is
It's
one.
a big character. He kind of needs to know it.
That's fair.
She is a big red dragon. She was one of the original matriarchs of dragonkind. Okay? She was defeated by an elvish god or human god, depending on how you look at it, named Averiu, sometimes referred to as Saint or Zadok Averiu. Averiu lanced out Ashmedea's heart and left her for dead, thus ending the War of Sword and Serpent in olden times, which was a war between elves and dragons. She did not die. Through her own greed and desire for life, she lived on and moved past one of the gates of hell and entered into the domain of the demon prince of greed, destroyed it, took it from its throne, and then put it inside of her own chest to act as her heart and keep her alive immortally. She is now the demon prince of greed. There are 13 sins known as the Sheddim, and each one of them has a demon prince that represents it. I'll get you that list of 13 here in a second. The main one we need to focus on is greed, though, as she's the queen of it. 100 years ago, and a day ago, in a Patreon-only game, a group of epic heroes known as the Grey Order killed Ashmedea in her plane, killing her outright. Now, as it is with demons, her seat cannot regain or can be taken up by anyone now at this point, and she would lose her rulership of her hell. But if she's allowed to regenerate, which takes 100 years and 1 day, then she can take her throne back. No one knows whether that's happened in the hell that she resides in. No one knows if she's back. However, according to what the Dragon Cult has basically put forward as its goals, and what the party presumes, is that the Dragon Cult means to resurrect the god or the demon prince Ashmedea here in the material plane by killing Oru and sacrificing her, and utilizing a young boy named Roderick Galagos' blood to perform a ritual which will bring Ashmedea the dragon back in this plane, presumably with her demonic powers intact, allowing her to go and usurp her throne or reign here on the material plane, known as Urs. All right. Any questions on that one?
Good job.
Yeah, I think I got the gist of it. And with knowing that, I would say that's probably more important than finding a phoenix.
You're like, I can put my goals on pause.
I know where it's at. It's not going nowhere.
That sounds like some pretty big shit, you guys. I'll help you save the world if you promise to help me find my phoenix later. If there's still a world to find it in. If there's still...
If possible, we could find it later. For now, though, I feel like that's probably more important. Just a little bit, though.
Okay. So it sounds like the goal is southwards. Double checking, making sure anybody has any other possible objectives that they want to attempt or put forward.
I still have my identity learned. That's fine.
And you know that Bellum. Well, you know that Bellum's not a bad place to kind of get some more information regarding that, because that was stated
Right.
before as well.
That's fine. If I go to the capital someday. Well, that's fine.
Fine.
I do think we should be pursuing information on Roderick and at least slowing down the Crimson Scarves and the Dragon Cult.
Okay. All right. Benson, agree?
I'm fine with it. Going after Crimson Scarves, it seems the most dire one at hand currently.
All right. And Raya?
Yeah, fine.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then I'm assuming that planning has basically concluded, and tomorrow morning you'll be leaving at first light to head down the road towards Bellum, stopping in Bluegate, possibly Kelswar, Banser, and so on as you move around the edge of the Cloudy Lake to the city to the south. Anything you want to do? Anybody who I mentioned in the tavern that you want to talk to before the night ends? Anything that you want to, do at all? Just let me know, or we'll just move to the next day.
I'm good.
I'll
good.
talk to the loner.
All right.
I'll go sit and have a nice meal next to him and see if conversation just sparks.
You sit next to him. He kind of like pulls his face off of the bar top, and you can see that there's kind of like a flatness to his face from having laid there for a while, and his eyes kind of widen as he looks at you, and then he grabs the cup and kind of looks into it, and then looks at you, and looks at the cup, and then looks at you.
I'll look into the cup with him.
It's empty.
Oh.
And he goes,
I'll call John Waters over, see if we can't
yes?
remedy this.
Oh,
My pal's thirsty.
well, because it's you asking, and he pours another cup, and he sets it out in front of the guy. And the guy goes, yeah, I knew you drank my drink.
I'm sorry about
You damn tin can.
that. Yeah, I was thirsty.
He starts drinking.
I'll have a good. What are they serving tonight? What's their meal? I don't need to eat, but I like to do it.
John Waters comes back over. Guess that's what we're calling him.
Like spaghetti or something.
No, he says tonight's meal is stew, carrots, turnips, and lamb.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll ask if my new pal is hungry.
No.
He should probably put something in his stomach other than booze.
He looks at you. Nah, I'm good. Thanks.
All right. You doing okay, bud?
What even is okay, man?
Yeah.
Everything's just... It's just fucking bad.
Yeah. I used to be a scarecrow.
He looks at you. The fuck?
Yeah. So maybe
I guess
climb down off of that high horse.
it's true what they say. Some people have it worse. And he kind of chuckles to himself.
What's your name, pal?
Don.
Don, I'm Shambles. I'll offer him a handshake.
He takes your hand. Got a pretty decent grip there. And he says, I've never drank with a suit of armor before, but I guess last couple of 6 day I couldn't get any worse, I guess.
Feel like you want to tell me what happened, John.
Oh, yeah. So I come from the west, small town called Barod, and well, a massive white dragon descended down from the mountains and smashed into our town, and a massive army of dragon spawn came running down from the foothills and the scree of the mountain. Killed everyone. Lances, teeth, claws. It was horrible. Me and a group of friends got away, but as we were traveling on, we tried to stay near the mountains so we could keep hidden. Well, after we started moving one morning, the ground erupted behind us and a massive purple worm came out of nowhere and ate most of my friends. I managed to escape and head to the road. And there was a group of refugees from the town who were making their way out. Nice family. Nice enough, anyways. And a group of bandits came down from the cairns to the south. And they butchered that family. Horribly. I fought as best I could, but once I saw that it was a losing battle, I ran. It seems all I'm good at anymore. And I figured I'd just bypass Bluegate, not even go into there, and kept going until I saw a purple light off in the distance and just felt just a desire to come here. And I've been here a couple of days and that light's gone now. Really weird. And now I'm talking.
Yeah, it is.
Now I'm talking to a suit of armor. Who's
You
drinking.
know, Don, you and I have so much more in common than you might think.
I guess.
I have also had a life ruined by a dragon. I have also run a lot.
You are not wrong.
I hate to pry, and I know this is troubling for you to get out there. This dragon attack on Barod. Was it strictly the dragon and the dragon's kind? Were there any men or otherwise that served it?
Our town had a surly old wizard. He, now that I think about it, he seemed to be helping them. It was strange.
Wizards, man.
It was a really strange day, to be sure. It all happened so fast. There might have been folks. Some of them were in robes, but it mostly looked like dragon kind. Not like a dragonborn or anything.
Sure. Like
Drakes and...
whelps and such.
I can't think of any of the other kinds. Drakes and wyverns and dragons are all I know.
The scaly ones, yeah.
I don't think there were any wyverns, though. But yeah.
I don't know enough about dragons.
He says, yeah.
Things that look like the dragon and smaller dragons.
Yeah. He just starts throwing up onto the ground next to him. Like, he says, yeah.
Yeah, scoot my stew bowl away from him just slightly.
You see the barkeep come out and around with a contraption. Looks like a mop and bucket, as we would know it, and just basically starts cleaning it up after he finishes. And
I'll throw an extra like 5 silver on the table for him.
No.
Sort of.
No.
Not-
He says, no. He slides that money back to you. You owe me nothing.
Alright, I feel like that particular thing was my fault.
If he is with you, he could do that for the rest of the night, and I would clean it up gladly. I cannot tell you how much I'm thankful for you and your friends.
You're welcome.
Heads back around with
I
a
say
smile.
as he's mopping up.
as he gets the bucket and the mop, and
I can't thank you enough.
he's got like a smile on his face, even though he's got a bucket full of this guy's puke, and heads onto the back.
So a white dragon, huh?
Yeah.
That sure throws a wrench in things. The rest of the party's still over at the table?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have left.
Yeah, they're probably just hanging out. Does anybody else want to talk to anybody else? Do anything else in the time there? I know Brooklyn said he's chill with just chilling out, maxing and relaxing, all cool. Grok, Benson,
No,
Raya.
I think we're good.
I'm just watching
Particularly,
the
I'm
channel.
ready to go.
Nobody wants to talk to the dwarf and the 2 guys.
He was a dwarf?
There's a dwarf and 2 guys that are
Oh, the other
at
party.
a table. Yeah, they look like merchants. You ever heard them say?
They were going north to the Dwarven settlement.
Bon Rock, yeah.
Bon Rock.
Nothing would
D-
seem out of order to me, so I would. Yeah. Okay.
Don, I need a few minutes to think. Are you gonna be okay for a little while? You're gonna not throw up all over the place for like 20 minutes?
Your food's been set out in front of you. He kind of goes, "You gonna eat that?"
No, sir.
Uh-uh.
Well, I was going to, but I don't have to. It's funny.
He says,
Not anymore.
I slide the bowl over to him.
he starts basically tucking in, and yeah, piece of like scrappy looking bread. He's dunking it, shoving it in his face. Looks like he's getting ready, reloading.
Man, I'll clap him on the back and head over to the rest of the group here. So, how many of you remember the teleporter mishap?
Which one?
Oh, I got all kinds of stuff from that. Yeah, no, I absolutely remember that. That's where I got my book.
I think it was the last time I lost a scarecrow.
What is this? The teleportation circle and the white dragon? Is that the one?
yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
one.
I remember that.
Not a clue.
Well, you weren't there,
Brooklyn,
Ricklin.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah, so we remember. What of it?
So I might have a lead on that white dragon. And I really owe that guy a trip down a mountain.
Benson would be kind of taken off by that, be like, I don't know if that would be a very smart. I think that's when you should just eat it and not worry about the repayment there, buddy.
John, just remind us, the Crimson Scarves, they were at that dragon. Do we know?
Don't know.
We don't know.
John told me there was a wizard in the town that appeared to be helping them. I don't know how refutable that information is, but it seemed like, from the story I was told, it was a white dragon and perhaps dragon spawn descended on the city of Barrett,
Well, so
and for all we know, are still terrorizing the people there.
Rock would say, is it Bon Rock that we're talking about?
Barrod, off to the west.
If you pull out your map and check it, Barrad's
I'm
not
looking.
Barrad's not marked on your map, but it's very easy for you to distinguish the unmarked village as Barrod, because I changed.
I could have sworn you just marked it.
I just marked it, so you would
Oh, okay.
basically be able to identify that. And if you're looking at the map, if they were to come down from the mountain, they would have to come down from pretty much one place. Mount Ruby Eye.
Right.
Brooklyn, just hypothetical. What do you think wins in a fight? The white dragon or a phoenix?
Honestly, I'm a little biased. I'm gonna vote
Sure.
Phoenix.
Why do you
Cool.
say? What kind of powers does it have? Do you know?
Do I know?
So you would know that it's actually a crypt for a phoenix, not a place where an actual phoenix resides. So it's a dead phoenix. Whether it's basically
That's
regrown itself, which phoenixes are apt to do, or if it's still in its egg-like state, or worse, still in its down state. You're not sure. You just know that you have a religious inspiration to go up that mountain and find that phoenix friend of yours.
Not exactly sure if it's even up there right now.
Barad is closer than Bellum.
By a lot.
By
And
a
there
lot.
are people
But it
suffering,
does get
and it
us
would kinda
away
be
from-
our duty to save them.
Arguable. You're being very inclusive.
And based on the story that he told, there's probably no one there to save. It sounded like if people got away, they got killed by crimson scarves on the road, or they got murdered by purple worms, or
Look,
they fell into several of the same traps you guys have. I mean, there's probably a family who went south.
I forgot about the worms. I was trying to tell them how similar we are.
It's probably the case that a family went south, found themselves in an old crypt, and one of them got iced by will-o-wisps, to be honest.
I mean,
Big.
we have a lead on Roderick down south. Going north and west would take us away
Potentially.
from that. Potentially, right.
Either of the two cities that we're headed to, we're going through Blue Gate, which is where we want to hopefully find the Crimson Scarves imprisoned. So we can make a decision once we've gotten there.
I vote we go towards Blue Gate, and if
Yeah.
possible, try to send some kind of letter, if possible, to Roderick and Dad, Karen Galagos,
Okay.
letting them know that Roderick may be in danger,
Okay.
preferably written by Benson or somebody refutable,
Perfectly acceptable.
and can write.
So, real quick, just to make sure I've got it, and I kind of want to make sure we're doing it right. The main goal right now has changed from having a very far directive to get to Blue Gate and gather information. Accurate? Okay.
That seems
agree.
fair.
All right. Okay. Anything else you want to do? Anybody you want to talk to? Any conversations you want to finalize? Anything you want to do at all before the night ends so we move on?
There are any places in town to? I think we might have talked about this to supply up.
Yeah, there's no magical itemry, but you can buy normal supplies.
All right.
Anything in your player's handbook at cost.
I do want to let Don know that my party is moving towards Blue Gate. We haven't made the decision yet, but I personally would like to help him with the White Dragon.
Well, I feel like I was brought here for a reason. I don't know what it is. He kind of looks at you. There's like a bit of gravy. kind of.
You ever been a squire before?
No,
I've never had one.
I've never. Okay, so you're a walking suit of armor. That's just my presumption on you. What are you? Like, are you some sort of like warrior or something? A dwarvish warrior? They've got warriors.
Don, I don't know how to answer your question.
They got
Satisfactorily.
well, they got warriors made out of metal up in Bonrock called juggernauts. Are you
So much cool, pertinent information to me.
are you like a smaller one of those or something?
Yeah, probably.
All right, well then, so you can handle yourself in a fight. That's
The
cool.
transition was fast.
Well, I'm a sellsword. I live in Barod, but I do a bit of work outside of Barod. You see, normally when I'm not trying to tend to a family and when I'm not getting attacked by dozens of crimson scarves, I typically take on bounties. Most of those come out of Blue Gate. So I know my way around the city a bit, but I also know it's not a great place. Truth be told, the reason why, he kind of leans in, the reason why they're trying to get rid of all the crimson scarves in there is because there's a kind of a guild in Blue Gate that handles its own business, and is trying to kind of make a power play towards the capital. Anyway,
No.
yeah, well, I'm not too well liked in Blue Gate. If you're heading to Blue Gate, I'd say, just keep an eye on your back. And if I understand what you were trying to intimate there, I'm not going to be your squire, but if you want me to travel with you, maybe that's the reason why I was drawn here,
More heads means less work, Don.
to find you. What's your goal? Are you going to kill that fucking dragon?
I sure would like to, Don. I can't explain to you how badly I want to do that.
All right, well, I'm going to go throw up a bit.
Cool.
When are you leaving?
morning?
First light tomorrow morning.
I'm going to apologize ahead of time, but if I travel with you, I will be dragging ass. Probably for the first 3 or 4 hours. I'm cognizant enough to understand that.
Yeah.
So,
Important to know your limits, Don. I respect that about you.
if you'll have me, I'll be here approximately first light.
Cool, man.
All right.
I'm gonna pay your tab. Call
Fair.
that your first down payment.
Okay. And he
We'll
kind
discuss things further at Blue Gate.
wanders off. Definitely stumbling quite a bit, and you can tell he keeps on like having stomach cramps of some sort or variety. That's it. If nobody has any other conversations they want to have in the bar, go ahead and move to the next morning. I'm assuming that Raya and Shambles, those who don't really have to sleep, are up and at 'em the first bit. And you'll note that Dawn kind of stumbles into the main hall of the tavern pretty early. Looks like he's got water stains on his shirt. His face is very slick, and his hair is kind of like wet and pulled back. And his eyes are just kind of like narrowed down from what you saw yesterday of him. He definitely has a paleness to him, and yeah, he looks at you and he says, "Holy shit! I thought I just absolutely dreamed that whole thing, but it was worth coming to check out if it was real. I'm sorry if I insulted you at all. Shambles, right?"
Yes, sir.
All right. He looks over at Raya, who's with you.
That's
after
Saint
them.
Mishrael.
You're traveling with a saint?
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Fair enough.
I'll introduce you to the others as they arrive.
Benson, Brooklyn, and Grok eventually do come down. Introductions are had. And Brooklyn, go ahead and make an intelligence check. You've heard of a sellsword named Donovan. He's not terribly rememberable, but you do remember him. People saying that he was quite the swordsman. But other than that, you can't recall exactly why you remember his name. He's definitely regional around Bluegate and the like.
Pretty sure I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the bar last night.
I meant before the bar. Shambles. We were hearing stories at least.
Donovan Sloan. I get around.
Slump?
Sloan.
Sloan. Okay.
I get around. Where are you from? Says to Brooklyn.
Banster.
I've been down to Banster before. Yeah. Although I think most of their needs are handled by, oh, you've got to be the fucking paladin. You've got to... Yeah, you've got to be the paladin. They've got a group of people who defend that town pretty well, so not really a lot of work to be had out that way.
What kind of armor and sword is he carrying? Anything special?
No armor. Massive sword. As you-
Two-handed?
It does appear to be a Zweihander. Yeah, looks like the blade is probably a good 4 feet long. The hilt is probably a good 1.5 feet. He's about 6'3", so as
Wow.
it sits on his back, you can see that it's like maybe 6 inches off of the ground, and it kind of sticks out a good distance off his back.
Monster Hunter style. Got it.
Well, it doesn't look like it's very wide, the blade. It looks like it's a very thin blade. It does look like the crossguard of the weapon is pretty wide as well. And it looks like it has kind of like a silver inlay throughout the metal of the crossguard. But yeah, if nothing else, the group will then travel. We're going to be moving along the road, I presume, and this is the first time that Brent has seen movement and travel. I went ahead and made him the party icon for the lulls.
Nice.
So, on the road, you can move a total of 5 hexes in a day. So you're going to move those 5 hexes, and that's fine, whatever. But for each hex moved, more specifically for each 3 segments of the trip, you need to make a random encounter roll. So I'm going to need 3 d20s rolled, and since you're the new guy, I want those rolled by you.
I'm very sorry.
No, these could be great. These are always fun.
All right. So for the first leg of your trip, pretty quiet. You do note that it is a bit cloudy out today, and a little bit of a drizzle kind of starts up upon you, kind of mid-morning. But as midday rolls around, since you rolled an 18, which high on the d20 rolls is bad, by the way, for random encounters, you are going to go ahead and give me a d100 roll. Let me know what you got.
I got a 10.
All right.
So White Dragon.
Yes.
Perfect.
That cuts out so much of this travel.
I know, right?
Bear with me here.
Don't ever
Putting-
trust me with rolling dice, guys.
I
Trust
Put
me
an
on
end
that.
boss on the random
Yeah,
encounter
we
table.
got 2 encounters.
Speed run this.
So real talk, there are random encounter rolls that would result in the dragon fighting you.
Nice.
That's not a not thing. If you roll a 1 on the random encounter roll, I genuinely just throw Chad's old character that's been cursed to fight and destroy your group, like, and see what happens. Either you kill Chad or Chad kills you. Because
No
We
chance.
always want that to be a thing.
yeah,
Chad might die.
I am having an issue finding my handout. It has been a long time since we've done a random roll. Craziness.
Also, Don, this is Benson. He's my everything. You protect him with your life.
I think a 10 is, what, 3 kobolds? Is that what it is?
No, that doesn't sound right.
We find 2 massive chests full of loot? Yes?
Also a possibility, but no, probably not.
That was close.
Ah, there we go. I found it.
Good job.
All right, 10, and we are in generic plains. We are specifically in the Northron plains.
Do we move the hexes at this point though, or not?
Yeah, you would.
Do you want to move it, Brooklyn? 5 hexes.
Well, you're going to get stopped twice. So the first one, 10 is an interesting one, to be sure.
Moves along the road.
Oh, no. Sorry, we're not in the Northron plains. That's over on the right side.
There you go.
We are in the Icefang Mountains lower region.
And we're fighting Medusas.
All right.
Oh, good. Against creatures that turn you to stone.
Okay. So, what you see up ahead is a strange sight, to be sure. It looks like a group of individuals being harried by. It's not a breezy day. It's a nice kind of cold, cloudy, slightly drizzly day, but there's no real wind present. But what you see up ahead looks like a group of maybe 5 or so individuals running and screaming, a couple diving off to the side of the road and then kind of being buffeted by wind. Wind seems to just be blowing them and knocking them down. Their clothes are moving about, their hair's flying up in the air, they're screaming in agony. They see you and they seem to be running in your direction yelling, "Help! Help!" as they move towards you. What?
I believe that is our call to arms.
Yeah, I would
May
say
we?
so.
It's my cue.
And then I head towards. We all head. Well, I would start heading towards that way to try to help.
Okay.
I'm going to hold him by the shoulder so he doesn't blow away.
I would give you a free Arcana check because it does fall into that vein. Benson, if you'd like to go ahead and take it.
I looked at it, didn't do anything.
9. It read twice.
Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't hear it.
You're good.
Only Benson.
So a 9.
Only Benson.
Okay, because I'm trained in Arcana as well.
Okay. So what you see, more in essence, is that the wind itself is the culprit. It looks like there's sentience there. They appear to be air elementals, 3 of them, that seem to be kind of harrying this group, and attacking them for some reason. It looks like, as you're kind of figuring that, one of the people who kind of jumped off to the side is basically being pummeled to death by the wind and rocks that it's throwing up and bashing into this guy.
I would look to Shambles and say, we need to help them. This could be very bad. They don't seem to be doing very well.
Okay, if you move,
Yeah, all right.
if you move up to intercept, basically what you see is that the peasantry kind of dart away from the one guy, and you see the wind kind of drop away from them, and they continue pummeling this one guy who's kind of dived off to the side of the road. he appears to kind of stop moving, and the air elementals then kind of stop and kind of hold their posture. You're only really able to see kind of the outline of them when they're full on going nuts. So now that they're calmed, as this guy's dead, there's just kind of like a slight distress to the air around and standing above him. That said, do you stop and wait, or try and kind of move to the other people who were running away?
How far away are we?
5, 10, 15, 20, 40 feet away, 50 feet away.
I would try to hit him with chill touch. I don't know. Let me see how far that is. Or not chill touch. Yeah, chill touch has range.
Why would an air elemental be
120 feet.
attacking people?
What?
Why would an air elemental be attacking people?
I don't know. It just seems that people are in need.
As you're kind of hesitating, and Raya, you say that, you can kind of see the air kind of move away from him. You can see the grass kind of on the ground kind of moving about, and they seem to move towards like a copse of trees to the south, and you can see the leaves kind of blowing off of the trees and kind of hitting the ground as the air elementals move away from the body that they just pummeled to death. Do you wish...
I'm gonna tell Don to stay next to Benson.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run ahead to that body.
You got it. And he kind of draws his sword very quickly. The blade's a perfect mithril blade with runes kind of running up the length of it, and he kind of takes his posture. A very strange martial stance. Definitely not one that anybody who is capable of sword fighting thinks is for the least bit of a second like worthy of being utilized at all.
Good enough. I'm gonna try to run towards that body, see if
Okay.
that guy is capable of being saved.
You get to him. Go ahead and make a medicine check.
5.
He dies right there.
kill him.
You don't do anything to him. You kind of like look at him. He's kind of down face first, and as you're kind of pulling him over, you can see the look of death in his eyes. He's staring up at the sky. He's beyond your capabilities to heal. It's like the last breath is kind of expelled from him when he gets rolled over, and you can see that he's holding something tightly in his hand. And in his left hand, which is kind of open, it looks like he was reaching for something on his belt. Inspecting the two things, looks like parchment in his right hand, and on his belt, it looks like a book that's kind of clad by leather straps hanging from his belt line.
I'll stand guard over the body for a while, kind of keep an eye on the grass, see if there's any movement. And if there's nothing, I'll motion for the others, particularly Benson, to come have a look at the things.
Okay.
Nope.
I was too slow.
When you get over to him, Benson, you'll recognize that the parchment he holds in his hand appears to have tear marks along one side of it. Do you extract the item from his hand to look it over?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, it appears to be a blank page, which you would know is characteristic of a scroll that's been utilized. Scrolls magic, the page or the ink on the scroll disappears, leaving blank parchment. With more powerful spells, scrolls, the parchment will actually dissipate from the casting as well. This one appears to have lingered. It looks like
Check his book.
it looks like it is a page from that book. The book on his belt appears to be a wizard's spell book.
Oof.
I would take that and try to search the rest of the body, kind of just in a very sad tone that it's such a waste.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check on the book real quick to kind of see if you can because you're a wizard, you'd have advantage for this. So what?
26 then. That's a natural 20.
You look through the spells, and I'll get you the list of spells that are in the book, and you're kind of just scrolling through, and you find where the ripped page was located, and you realize that this was a higher level spell, which typically requires multiple pages inside of a book. And it looks like the person who was casting the spell was casting it as a scroll, which you would know would need all of the pages, or the spell wouldn't be cast right. And it looks like the person who did it wasn't a spellcaster and had a very fleeting knowledge of how spell scrolls worked and did it wrong. Based on the remaining pages, which unfortunately will not allow you to discern what it was, it appears to be the spell Conjure Elemental.
So he couldn't control it. He conjured it, and then he couldn't control it.
Your presumption is that guy fucked up. That's
I
what
could have told you that.
I tell them, I explain to the group basically what happened, that this is why people shouldn't dabble in things they don't understand. Just very solemnly, angrily, like, stop playing in my sandbox and screwing it up.
Slides the book into his pocket.
Do you
Yes,
think
I
he
do.
stole the book,
Yeah.
Benson?
It looks like it. It's a very high level spell. I don't think someone who would mess up a spell of this type would be having this high of a spell that he'd be casting.
So there's two others we could ask, right? The two that ran away?
Yeah, there's a couple of people actually, more than, two's fine. They're still looking back at the situation, kind of watching from a distance.
So we should go over to... Grok would at least head over towards them.
I'll go with Brock.
Yeah. Investigate that.
Okay. So there's it's two men. The gentleman who's on the ground is probably in his 50s. Kind of like a scraggly beard and kind of a nobleman's look, or someone who's dressed as well as they can be. That's the dead guy. The two other individuals, they appear to be kind of just henchmen, effectively. They look like standard thoroughfare hired guards.
Okay.
And the one says, I don't think he knew what he was doing, he says as you walk over.
Are you injured?
Just my pride.
What happened here?
Well, we got attacked by a group of bandits, and our boss, Kenneth, he used his dad's book. He'd done it before, and said he was going to bring forward the spirits of the air to defend us against it. Took him some time, and then the winds themselves attacked the Crimson Scarves and beat them dead, and we got away. And then the wind started attacking us for no reason, maybe about 20 or so minutes later. And we've been running for the last 20 or so minutes. It's been hell. But yeah.
Who is Kenneth's father?
Kenneth's father is Malgard. He's a wizard. From Barod. That's where we're from. Most folks didn't get out when Hey! Looks over at Donovan. Donovan goes, oh, hey. They kind of give each other nods. And then the guard kind of looks back to you. I wouldn't travel around with this one. He's a coward. Runs from fights. Isn't too good in a fight neither. Donovan says, I'm hung over to hell and back, and I could still waste the two of you, no problem. Guard kind of shrugs.
If I get anywhere near them, like once I come up, no matter what point they're talking, I would interrupt and I'd be yelling at them like, this is why you don't mess with magic. This is why you don't steal people's books.
Grok
You
would say,
two
"Hold-
don't
hold-
have
just
any
wait,
idea
just
what you're
wait,
doing."
Just wait.
He grabs me, pulls me back.
Calm
I'm just
down,
like,
calm
oh my god!
It's like
So tell us more about these Crimson Scarves that you attacked with the elemental. Where were they?
about 12 of them down the road a bit.
Does he point in the direction?
Down the road would be towards Blue Gate,
Okay.
which is the way they were coming from. Yeah.
I'm sorry to say, but Kenneth sounds like he was a fool.
Yeah. Well, fuck. We're probably gonna head to Purple Light and see if we can't get a job. Looks at Donovan. And I'm warning you. You travel with this one. You watch your back. Donovan says, fuck you. The guard wanders off. Donovan looks at you and says, I ran from dragon spawn. If that's what they're holding against me, then well, whatever.
Hey man, sometimes you're facing a dragon, you know, eye down the barrel, you just freeze, there's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
That's what
Well,
happened to me.
and I was more keen on getting people out of town. Wasn't retreating and running like a coward. I mean, there was a little bit of that, but it wasn't my. I was also trying to make it seem a little bit more honorable. Yeah, yeah. Sheaths the sword, and kind of looks a little bit more somber. All right.
How much
Go ahead.
would you have? How much would you have shared with what you were talking about to him, Zach, with us? The story that he told you.
I mean, Grok
I
was there
told
as
you
well.
all of it. There was a wizard
I
that
would
seemed to
hold
be
up the
assisting.
book and say, "Does this look like the book of the wizard that was assisting? Is this person's father the one that was assisting?"
Books look like books. I'm sorry, guy. And I believe all the things you said. I'm not gonna mess with magic or anything weird.
Donnie's got a point.
My sword's
But you knew his father. You were
not
part of the town. You
not
knew his father.
not personally. He was a kind of a recluse, a hermit.
But was he the one that was assisting the dragon? The boy that's dead, his father.
Yeah,
Was he the one that was assisting the dragonkin?
I assume so. The name. What was the name that he gave?
Melgar?
Yeah, Melgard the Wizard of Barod. Sure.
Then good to have him
Wait,
gone.
is that his spell book?
That's what we think. That's what we're
It
asking.
was.
Okay, so you got to tell me something real quick there, little one.
Benson.
Benson, sorry, Benson. I apologize.
He's very important.
Well, wait a minute. The Hand of Mutis?
That would be me.
The very same.
I'm angry. Like you guys have never seen Benson angry
You see-
before. When
you
they
see
had
Donovan's-
screwed up magic.
Donovan's whole just face kind of go from
Man, Grok, you and me are just not famous, huh?
he looks over
Yeah.
he,
Okay with me, Shambles.
he looks over
I
to
don't need
he looks over to
nothing.
Shambles and he goes, "We're gonna fuck this dragon up," and then looks back at Benson and says, Master Benson, sir, is it true that mages without their spell books are like swordsmen without their swords?"
The untrained ones, yes, but if you are trained, you should know at least a good portion of your spells.
So what you're saying is if he was helping those dragons, then he's fucked because his stupid greedy son, or he's dead already.
As he should be. From hurting innocents, he should be dead. His son is a fool and should be dead.
Hell
They
yeah.
got what they deserved.
Hell yeah. Donovan's whole demeanor, which was hungover, seems to have a little bit of cream on top of. We're traveling with the Hand of Mutis. We gonna kill a dragon. Okay. I need another
Benson,
D100.
can I talk to you for a second?
you
Never,
Yeah.
ever upstage me in front of my idol.
you overhear Donovan at some. Overhear Donovan at some point says, "I should have known. His robes are so fucking fancy." Anyways,
Shambles are better than mine.
Shambles
Nah, mine are
crosses his
already
arm
pretty
like
much
Zach is
ruined.
crossing his arm.
the other 18 results in another random encounter. Go ahead and give me a roll.
I rolled
on-
a 19.
Okay.
Wait, good roll. You got me a book. I really like you. You're great. Keep rolling.
Okay. All right. You get to a point where you find a grouping of dead crimson scarves. But what you notice is that it looks like a number of them have been dragged off. And there's kind of like a copse of trees and like a small grouping of trees not too far from where you're at. But it looks like some of these crimson scarves' bodies have been dragged away. Some of them look like they've been torn apart and dragged away piecemeal by some sort of wild beast. Grok, you
Grok would want to examine the tracks and see if he could suss out what kind of creature it might be.
you can make either a nature check or a survival check. The results of both of these types of things would be determined on what you choose.
Yeah, I'm going to choose survival.
Go with it.
Critical success, 28.
So about 5 possibly 6 massive cats tore these individuals apart. It looks like this was not a situation where the cats actually caused the killing blows. Looks like the individuals were pummeled to death by some external force, possibly air elementals. And yeah, it definitely looks like they were taken kind of as a scavenger kind of mentality to eat. Very massive cats.
Yes.
Your presumption is either dire lions, displacer beasts. Actually, with that check, you know that they're displacer beasts because there are more legs than just the 4.
Yeah. Grok would say that to the group, and you know, this would be a difficult fight. But if we want to engage in it to protect others, Grok would support that. If others just want to make our way, continue on our way, that would be fine too.
Your presumption is that they are in the tree line, and this does appear to be kind of like a hunting area for this pride of displacer beasts.
Would it prevent us from making our way down the road?
Oh, you can continue, but it's a possibility that they could try and assail you if they're still
Got it.
hungry.
And collect all the scarves off the bodies.
Okay.
Very practical. I like it. Thoughts, folks?
They
What
had
happened?
attacked scarves.
So what happened was that the air elemental seems to have killed the scarves, and then the displacer beast dragged them off as just easy food.
So, do you want to kind of explore around here any further, or just continue on down the road?
This is the first point of contact with the Crimson Scarves assailed the other group.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Then it would be assumed that there's some form of camp around here. They're probably not just hanging out in the middle of the road for no reason.
Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
So you come to a point where it looks like the road actually breaches. It looks like the main road, the well-traveled road, continues on the northern side of this divide, this fork, and then a smaller kind of game trail continues on south of that. Utilizing the survival checks, you would note that the Crimson Scarves came from here, from the smaller road, and if you kind of look over this place again, keeping that same survival check, your presumption is that they came down this or up this road and intercepted the refugees. If there is such a camp present, it would probably be down this trail a bit.
How thick is the canopy of the forested area?
It's pretty much just like a lot of lower branched trees, kind of like 5 to 10 feet off the ground before it starts getting branchy. And there's a number of shrubs throughout the area as well. You do notice a decent amount of fern growth, a lot of camouflage present in the mass of trees there. And from what you can tell, kind of traveling alongside with this for a while, you don't think that it's a forest or anything. You think it's like a windbreak that's been established to kind of keep the roads less windy from kind of east northerly traveling winds, or from the northern ends kind of causing the wind to move past this this break.
So if you guys want to go find this camp, we can sneaky through it and Shambles can play eyes in the sky from above us.
It seems worth it if there's any chance that we get information out of them.
Yeah, so we want to send forward the sneaky folks first. I don't think that Brooklyn or Grok would qualify. I don't know much about Donovan, whether he's a sneaky type, but he seems like a big boy, so maybe not.
He's
I don't know.
I mean, he's not terribly massive.
But he's unarmored too, right? Is that you said? So he could be
Yeah.
quiet, perhaps.
Yeah, could
Quieter than me.
I can take point on the ground. You guys can follow from visible distance, and then Shambles, like I said, can just fly over us and call shit out if we get into trouble.
Okay.
I'll do that.
let's see. Brooklyn, Grok, Benson, and Donovan, and Raya are on the ground. Raya, you said you were scouting ahead, though. And then Shambles, you're above him, kind of going the same way.
Yeah, I'll stay about 30 feet.
All right. I'm going to
Trying to
need...
spider through trees as much as possible. If they're not close enough together, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not so much that they're not close enough together. They are, but you'd be moving at such a slow pace in that method because you're not just tree to tree brachiating. You're also moving through like the coniferous branch extensions, and it's like moving through like needles. And
Okay, if they're not enough to support weight and they're going to be like that, then no.
yeah, well they could potentially support weight. It's just it'd be like running through. I'm trying to think of it. It'd be like running through a cornfield, except all the corn is covered with little thin needles. Yeah, it's like a bunch of Christmas trees, is what we're talking about here. Yeah. That said, Raya, let me get you on the board here. Okay, so I'd like for Benson and Raya to go ahead and make stealth checks.
Gamble it, right?
That's what I meant. I did it again.
You sure did.
You guys are,
Stealth.
yeah, you're a super duo.
20.
All right.
9.
Raya, you come to a point where the low road kind of comes to a small little clearing with a couple of rocks to the southeast of you. And you can see that there are a number of eyes kind of staring up as it's about evening time. But there are several sets of eyes that are staring up. And you can see that the eyes are connected to cat faces. If you've ever played with a laser pointer with cats, except Shambles is the laser in this instance. They are looking up at him. And as you're kind of moving in this way, you would also note that the ones that are kind of north of where that's at are also looking over towards the group, which is about 30 or so feet behind you, and also kind of watching that as well.
So there's cat eyes on everybody but me that I know of.
Right. You're pretty well hidden. You actually see that. Let me give you a detailed map here of what the breakdown would be at the point of affecting.
Can the other party see me?
Probably not, unless you make yourself visible, because you are a stealthy lad. This is what I presume the map would look like at the point of contact.
Always seen these things in the books and everything, but I've never fought one.
Well, good time to start.
I tried to tame one once.
Six is a lot. Just a heads up.
Real quick, so I did state that I was going to try to move so that they could see me. So they can they at least make a perception check to try to find me?
Yeah, well, no, I'm sorry, I missed that part. So that's where you're at's kind of fine. They'd be able to. Grok would probably be the one that you're kind of making sure you're most visible to.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be outing yourself to get Grok's attention.
Okay. Then I would just look at him and say,
Yep. And it's right about then, and since it's going to basically be, I'm there in that, Raya, you'll start the condition hidden. But everyone else, no one's starting surprised. The cats are not surprised by you being present, and your group is not surprised by the cats. So that said, you see coming out of the shrubs massive black cats. But as you kind of look at them and kind of focus in on them, you watch as they seem to kind of shift and kind of move every so often, like within 5 feet of one another. There's this weird, strange kind of air to them that seems to kind of glisten and kind of move like heat wake. And each one of them starts kind of prowling out. The lead one that comes out behind these rocks, kind of entering here, coming around and looking at your group and kind of growling inwards. Face-wise, it looks like the big demon dog cat things from Ghostbusters. It's evil as hell looking. And yeah, they have 2 flappy tentacles and about 8 legs.
Gozer?
Yeah, Gozer. That's what we're going
Is that
with.
his name?
Oh no, Gozer was the. Was it Gozer?
Googling.
Yeah,
Sorry.
because I can't remember the big entity that comes.
Gozer was the god.
Yeah, and then
Go ahead.
Yeah, Zool was the name of the dog. There's no Dana, only Zool. Yes. Okay. So good memory. Select your token and go ahead and roll initiative. Donovan has a special feature. He chooses the highest initiative of any group he's fighting in, and he takes their initiative. Looks like a lot of people on 18.
What's your dex, Benson?
2. Well, 14. Sorry.
Okay, mine's 15. So yeah, you're yeah, right beneath me.
I'm beat. I got no.
Deadlands, let's go.
All right. So, Riot, you'd be first on the docket. You, like I said, are starting this fight from hidden. Another thing I want to point out here, as you can see, the shadows seem to be coming in from the outside, the tree lines. It is evening time. So what that means is that the sun is coming through the tree line, and it's very, very bright. If you are firing into the tree line with range attacks, or with any kind of range attack, you have disadvantage for that range attack. Also, if you're trying to make a perception check against anything in the forest or in that direction, you would also have said disadvantage.
Oh,
All right, Grok, you're up.
Bonus action, wild shape, saber-toothed tiger.
Okay, drag and drop.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, you should have a saber.
Give me a second. I do not. So I have CR2 now, and I don't think that they're. I see some of them, but not all.
Okay.
No worries.
Hold on. Uh. Sound rating too. Okay.
Do I need to refresh for it to show, or?
No, it's on your sheet art. That's super weird.
I mean, I see riding horse, scorpion. Oh, okay, cool. Grok is as the saber-tooth tiger is going to move in front of Benson and ready in action to attack the first displacer beast that comes within threat range.
Okay. Yeah, that's super weird. You already had control of it, but I don't know where it's hiding. So I'll deal with that later. But
No worries, thank you.
don't close that sheet.
Got it.
Chug.
I want to throw a fireball right back here in this corner.
Nice. Classic.
because fuck Amy.
I can get at least 3.
That way, maybe you can also take away some of like the trees that are obstructing view a little bit. We'll just burn the whole place down.
Yeah, you're not
Oh,
burning.
motherfucker.
You're not burning those trees. Go ahead and give me the fireball nonsense.
Fireball 29.
Much better fireball this time.
Yeah, they're going to be really dextery.
You kind of throw the fire mote into the tree line, and you watch as it detonates. You watch as all of the cats seem to kind of shift to the left and to the right, away from the fire in that way that I described. And you watch as the detonation seems to kind of hit where the fire would have caught them, but they seem to have already kind of shifted aside and avoided the fire. Not a single one of them takes a point of damage.
Bummer. It was still cool though.
All right. Chody done. It goes to Don, who has been charged with defending Benson. So he's holding to that. You see him readying an action and preparing to fight when something comes in close. And my presumption is that you're about, what, your movement speed off the ground, right, Shambles?
I said 30 feet.
30 feet, okay. Then that's what you're at.
Yeah. Take quick. Those over here, 30. That'd still be a little ways off. I'm gonna move above this one.
Mhm.
Maybe drop down to maybe 20 feet above him.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna throw a couple darts at it. shanking him with darts.
All right. You watch as one hits the rock that he's near as it goes through him, slams into it and breaks. The next dart does the same, as both of those attacks miss.
Are these disadvantages? Is that the deal with them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I couldn't remember how they were.
It seems that you were dead on, but you watch as they
Right.
kind of go through it, and then it kind of and shifts to the side. It seems to be kind of this weird kind of shadow move that it keeps doing. And you were certain that was it, and you threw those daggers through it. It literally was just an illusion. All right, cat time. This one is going to jump up onto this rock and then jump down into big, massive lion, or tiger rather, and this one's going to do likewise.
Can I strike at one of them? The first one?
You said you were ready to do so?
Yes, I was.
Go nuts.
An opportunity attack too, or no?
There's no opportunity attack here now. All right,
I rolled a 10.
the cat, the saber-toothed tiger, you watch as it bites into the displacer beast's neck, and it just goes right through. And as that's happening, you see the displacer beast like kind of manifest behind it, and then kind of lash out at the saber-toothed tiger with the two tentacles on its back. 18 and 17 both hit, I presume.
They do.
And then the other one will be hitting with a 17 and does a 14 hit.
It does. It all hit.
All right, let me add up the totals. You don't have reduction for bludgeoning or piercing, right?
No, I do not.
So then we'll go with 14 damage from the first one, 7 damage from the second one, 7 damage from the third one, and 12 damage from the fourth one. As the pads of the tentacles slam into you, it's like being slapped with a mace, but you also feel that there are teeth on the inside of the flat pads of the tentacles that rake at the tiger flesh as they pull away from you and kind of just lash at you.
So it's 14 plus 7 plus 7 plus what?
12.
40 damage total.
40 damage total. Okay.
What you're recognizing is you understand what the intent of the pad is. They're loosening up the flesh, so then when they get into biting mode, it won't be tough and stringent. They tear open with the tentacles and then kind of slurp up the slurry that they make with their tentacles.
Oh, yum.
Delicious. Donovan's going to get his attack. Did you have one ready, Brooklyn? Or you haven't gone yet?
I
Never mind.
haven't gone yet. Oh, don't forget my
Aura.
Yeah.
All right. So Donovan, the displacer beast will attack him twice. Is that...
John, real quick.
Go ahead.
You're adjacent to two Groks.
Oh yeah, this grok is currently off the board. Just ignore it,
Got it.
and then it would have been something like that. That one had to
Cheerleader.
that one had to dash to get
Yeah, I
around.
saw it.
It actually would remain in the same position, and this one would actually be here. So against the cat again. 13 hit.
It does.
Okay, and then an 8 will miss. You're going to take 9 more damage from the one that comes into the middle. The one on the left will attack at Brooklyn. I don't think I'm going to hit with these, but whatever. 25?
yeah, right on the money.
That's a lucky shot. You're going to take 10 bludgeoning and 1 piercing. As I said, it kind of catches onto your armor, and you can feel the spines kind of like you feel the weight of the pad kind of hits you, and then you can feel the spines kind of tearing at the armor, kind of getting in between like the chain and the pad, and kind of tearing at you a little bit.
So he's have reach, like he's lashing out that far and getting him.
Correct. The tentacles are like whoosh, massive whips. And then attacking Donovan, you watch as Donovan kind of like waits, and as the pads come in, you see Donovan kind of jump left and then roll to the right back into his same position, sword up in that weird stance, and his movements were absolutely outrageous, but efficient. He dodged all of the attacks that came at him. He is not getting his opportunity attack because he is at a distance. Brooklyn, you're up.
I guess I'll just walk up to this one right here, and I'll just swing at it.
Mm-hmm.
20 for the first one.
16 will hit.
Okay. That's 13 points of damage for the first one.
All right. So as you hit it, you watch as you're kind of swinging at it, but instead of hitting it where you think you're going to, you hit something early, and you watch as what you're swinging at disappears, and the cat appears kind of where your axe is hitting, and you kind of look at it, and as it does so, you see the cat kind of go stunned and kind of look at you, and it seems to be here and not shifting anymore, at least for the time being.
I'm gonna take my held action when he's done.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my second swing. 27.
27 will hit. You no longer have disadvantage against the one that I've marked with the yellow pip. Go ahead.
Damage, and on that hit, I'm gonna do Fine Smite.
Sure.
There we go. So 19 damage total.
All right. Pretty solid blows. You kind of rattle the cat back, and it's kind of like, how did it hit me? Like, it's something that doesn't happen very often with a cat. But it's still kind of like getting pissed now and focusing in on you a little bit harder. Right, go ahead and take your turn, and then you'll be taking a turn after that.
Pulling short bow and shooting the same one that he just hit.
Okay. Go ahead and give me 11 misses.
From hidden.
Oh, you're hit 22 hits, sorry.
Okay. 16 will be 27 against that one.
Yep. Solid shot to the shoulder, kind of in between where the muscle and the tentacle meet. A lot of blood shooting from that zone now that it's got an arrow in it. Go ahead with the second attack. I'm assuming you're using your bonus action to reestablish it and then firing on your next turn.
Yeah.
Go with it. That'll hit.
7 to plus 15, so 25 more.
It's been a while since we've seen a solid chatting, but that's exactly what happens. Yeah, it literally has 2 arrows in its back and it's kind of hunkered down, all 6 of its legs, or 8 of its legs kind of weakening under its weight, and it kind of looks up at Brooklyn with anger, not even really noticing Raya, just knowing it's feeling pain.
I'm going to shift over here and bonus action.
Okay, roll a stealth check, and then Grok, you are up.
20.
Yep, so Grok, you see that the saber-toothed tiger is bleeding profusely. So Grok dismisses it.
Okay.
He's gonna cast
Hold
Thunder
on.
Wave.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, no worries.
I know it doesn't drop for free. I think you do it as a bonus action.
Correct.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure. Thunderwave.
How many can I hit?
All 3. Con saving
do
throw?
that.
Is it a Constitution saving throw?
Yes.
Okay. What's the DC?
Let me roll it.
Oh, I'm real sorry. Don't even worry about it. You detonate it, and you watch as the forms kind of backwards, and you can see all the cats kind of like looking at you with Cheshire grins as the thunder wave seems to detonate into nothing.
Okay. Grok hunkers down, keeping his back of his shell to Benson.
Okay. Speaking of Benson, very clearly it looks like area effect spells are not very efficient against them.
I don't like it. Chill touch on the one that's hurting.
All right.
Good hit.
15 hits. Yeah, this one does not have the advantage.
9.
So yeah, you throw forward your hand, kind of holding your hand out. You can see Donovan looking back at you as you do it, and then you kind of grasp the necromantic hand around the neck of the cat, and it just falls to the ground dead. And you see Donovan go, yeah.
Have a fan.
Shambles is like, stop it, he's
I
mine.
want to move around and just get over here behind him.
Okay.
So,
The cat is big enough that you could use it as cover if you're wanting to do that. It won't be good against the cats behind you, but anything that's kind of coming between you and Brooklyn. All right.
I'm going to use it as cover.
You watch Donovan kind of move inwards like this. Hold on a second. Bear with me. I had his character sheet open and I closed it like an idiot.
Job.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I just don't know what to do with myself. There he is. All right. So, he is going to attack 3 times with that sword. All right. 14 still hits. 20 definitely hits, and 27 certainly hits. 18. Yeah, he has more than half of his hit points. So 18, 22, that's 40, 55. He tears into the displacer beast he engages with, and you watch as it kind of like reels backwards, bloodied in the face, and also it seems that its static ability has zapped out. It's no longer snapping about. Donovan then freely just kind of rushes backwards in kind of a tumble roll and lands next to the other one, kind of looking at it and trying to keep a position that blocks them from getting in and around to the squishier elements. Shambles.
I'm going. I said I was 20 feet up. That should work out. I'm going to full on dive
Dive bomb.
in between these two. Huh?
Dive bomb.
Oh yeah. I wanted to dive
yeah,
kick,
bud.
but the unarmed attack has to be third.
He goes full
Anyway.
Rocketeer and just missile blows it with his head.
Superman.
That's fine if you want to punch it, but I thought you were going to use your head.
Well, it was gonna be a dive kick.
Iron Giant.
Anyway,
Anyway,
2 attacks on this one.
the one
to
that's
the right.
yeah, the one that's been revealed. Okay,
Yeah.
both hit.
10, 18 total.
Still up, but pretty well wounded.
We're gonna go with the unarmed attack on him. 15
Hits,
for another 10.
knocking it down.
Still away.
Yeah. So I'm assuming like a spinning kick, stab, sweep, smashing it in the head.
Oh yeah, I'm doing like a
Roundhouse.
what's the word? Not a roundhouse. What's the one when it's like a flip kick?
Oh,
Butterfly kick? Is that
Butterfly
it?
kick. That's the one.
Yeah.
Smashing its
Down,
head
down on the top of the skull.
smashing its head down axe handle style, boom, knocks it to the ground.
And we're going to flurry of blows, kick the one behind me.
Okay.
21
21
to
will
hit.
work, yeah.
And let's go ahead and spend another key point to try to stun him.
Okay.
14 con save.
All right. Let me read something real quick.
Take your time.
So this is not an effect that allows it. Okay, so then yeah, it's straight roll. Stunned and also snapping into position, and clearly the accurate one. Yeah, basically what you've been watching from above is it looks like there's basically 2 positions for each displacer beast. Once the displacer beast is hit, it locks into its actual position. But yeah, that is that.
Yeah, John.
What?
Mean to bother, but can you X out the saber-tooth tiger thing on the screen?
He's gone.
No, I know, but the description is still up in front of the screen.
Oh!
and it's everything.
What?
Oh,
Close
on,
it yourself.
on the stream.
Close that.
On the
On
stream.
Twitch?
On the stream. On the stream.
Oh,
Trying to help.
yeah, Jody. Good
Thank,
answer.
thank you. I
You're
am. One day I'll have somebody just doing that for me.
No, you won't.
You're right. This is going to stay a low
Higher
rent operation the whole time. Shambles, you are done. It is Displacer Beast o'clock, and that means turtle soup's on the menu, boys. And they're going all in on Grok.
Here they come.
Your armor class?
20.
5 and 6. All right. Miss, hit, hit, miss, hit, hit. So 4, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. You're taking 10, 7, 11, and 15.
43.
43
Yep, 43.
total. As they all pepper into you, smack, 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 and they seem to be
Oh, jeez.
closing inwards on you, and kind of tangling it up with you, kind of getting in close. You can definitely feel their breath after the tentacles are kind of slapping in. They're not. This is more for flavor than crunch, but they seem to be kind of like moving in towards you and kind of nipping at you and biting towards where the tentacles peel away a bit of that turtle meat. The one that's up top with Shambles, seeing that it's kind of in its weird state, you watch as it reactivates its state by flaring its tentacles up above its
He
head.
is stunned.
Oh, then never mind.
Sorry.
Hold on, let me check something real quick. Strain is disrupted while the displacer beast is incapacitated. Okay, so yeah, so it can't reestablish its displacement, so it just the whole time. Stars or birds? Which one do you want? Never birds, always stars.
Birds.
F birds.
Is that Mortal Kombat wobble?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish it. Nice.
Toasty.
So many hit points. Brooklyn, you're up.
I'm gonna swing at the one in front of me here.
All right. Swing and a miss. You aim for what you think is the right creature and swing basically right through it. Second attack. Also a miss. You kind of, it's over here, and you kind of swing off to the side, and it's still not correct. All right. Riot. Still hidden.
I'm gonna shoot the stunned one.
Okay. 22 hits.
16. That's 25.
Still standing.
And bonus action hide.
Okay. Grok, you're up.
Yep,
Do you do
Grok.
another stealth roll or no?
Yeah, give me the stealth roll. The only reason they haven't really pursued you is because you've been
14.
up until this point. No, yeah, that beats their passive. Yep, you're still hidden. But once they recognize you're up, it's rise.
Grok looks to Brooklyn and says, I don't think I could take another one of those attacks. And then you see him do something with his hands, and a big gust of wind appears. I'm going to try to hit as many as I can. I'm not sure I could hit all three with the wind.
Yeah, you obviously haven't learned your
Like
lesson.
this.
I'm gonna go ahead and make my checks here. What's the DC? Never mind.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Lowest one I got was an 18. They all kind of move aside for a second. The wind kind of sweeps through, and you see it kind of buffer into their displaced positions, and rocks and whatever and gravel kind of moving through them as well. But they suffer no effect. Yeah. So,
Okay.
just real quick, because I want to make sure you understand what's happening here, because you would have caught it by now. Displacer beasts have an ability called Avoidance, which says if they're making a save against an effect that allows a saving throw to take only half damage, not just dexterity saving throws, like your evasion nonsense, it takes no damage or effect if it succeeds on the saving throw, and only half damage if it fails.
Okay, so I did not realize I was looking for a save that it might not be as good at.
Yeah.
Got it.
They're also really big cats, so you should know that their strength is pretty beef. But yeah, that said, Dodge City, and Grok, you are done. Chody, you are up.
I'm gonna go ahead and chilling grasp on the one that is pinged up here.
Okay. Go with it.
21.
Hits.
Focus of death.
Still standing, but pretty well damaged. Donovan looks at you as you do that, and you're holding your hand out, and he says, "This one," points over his shoulder. His sword is being held like just weirdly off to the side, but he points over his shoulder at the one behind him. "This one, or should I fight those ones for the turtle?"
Finish the one and then get the turtle.
He spins around, his foot kind of comes up over the cat's leg, and then he tucks the sword under himself and attacks with it with this weird, probably not efficient, but definitely flashy as hell attack. First attack, second attack, third attack, and all three of those will hit. Yep, that'll get it. So he stabs it in the neck and then kind of flips over his own sword, landing, pulling the sword up, then drops it back into the thing's head, and then spins around and cuts it in the face, and it kind of just falls to the ground. He is goofy looking.
Just like we planned.
He looks at you and goes, "Yeah!" And then as he says that, he kind of rushes in, kind of like right behind Grok, and he says,
Turtle, if you can.
he says, "It's okay, Turtle Man. I'm here to help."
Great, I need it.
Shambles.
Yeah, we're going to just ease around back here on the back line,
Mm-hmm.
and let's just go carving on this nearest one. 13
Hits
hits,
on the nose. Yep.
and another,
Big hit.
27. Solid.
and he's no longer.
Displaced, right? 29,
Wishy-washy,
29, right? Sorry, on the second attack.
No, you're fine.
And then Kung Fu.
Unarmed. Give him a roll kick in the nethers.
10 misses.
10. You know what? It helped out in the past. I'm going to. You know what? I can reach that second one, can't I?
The one south, yeah, you can.
Let's go ahead and give him a kick.
Flurry. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Hits.
job.
We're not gonna try to stun him.
All right, damage.
We're just looking to take away the 7 on him.
Yep. And
20 on the first, 7 on the second.
you watch as it seems that Shambles has kind of caught the drift of how they're kind of shifting, and you see his foot kind of boot into the true one and knock it as he's stabbing into the other one and keeping it locked spatially. The problem is as it comes to their turn, you see their tentacles kind of flare up above their heads, and they kind of start going and shifting between each other again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it resets it.
I'm not the answer to this. At the end of the.
Unless you hold, yeah, you are not the guy. Um,
Whoops.
they kind of focus in, like they were kind of attention towards Grok, but as like metal boots and swords are stabbing him in the back, you watch as they both kind of spin around. One tentacle kind of keeping behind them, but then slamming forward, and all of them kind of, or at least two rather, go in on Shambles. So tentacle, 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 tentacle. 21, 14, 21, 20. 3 attacks hit, right?
3 hit. Yes.
1, 2, and 3. We're looking at. Do you reduce any damage at all or no?
Shouldn't, no.
Yeah, that's the scarecrow. Sorry. So 8 from the first one, 10 from the second one, and we're looking at 14 from the third one.
22? No, 32.
And then the one that is over on the side, not really paying attention to what's going on over there, it's just cats' butts flying around, smashes into Grok again. 18 misses and crit. And that crit is going to do 20 points of damage.
Ouch.
Still standing?
Yep.
All right. Just a
Barely.
mean whack in the side of the turtle face, and you can kind of feel like tearing kind of come out. It causes your turtle scaliness to kind of have like this weird kind of cross pattern shape to it on the left side of your face, and also blood. But yeah, it's done. Brooklyn, you're up.
Okay, I'm seeing that Grok is very injured. I'm gonna reach over, put my hand on him, and heal him for 30 points.
All right. Play on
Thank you,
hands.
sir.
You.
That's your action. Do you have any bonus actions?
No.
All right. You don't want
I
to
would,
cast.
as a
What?
reaction, tell Grok, can you hold for me? I want to try something.
I was going to
Sure.
suggest, since Grok is the center target, if you want to make his AC better, do you have Shield of Faith, Brent?
Let me check here. No, I don't have it.
Okay, never mind. Good spell, though. All right. So then, Raya, you're up. And still hidden.
Is the wind wall still up?
The wind wall is... ooh, good question. It is a concentration spell. He can continue to push it that way. But I need...
He hasn't taken a turn since.
Yeah,
Oh, I guess he got hit in the face.
He got hit in the face. That's what I was going for. I need a concentration check. So give me a Constitution saving throw, Grok.
Constitution?
Yep, and let's see. Hit you in the face with that crit was 20, so 10, DC 10. Okay, yeah, you're successful. All right, so then Riot, the wind wall is still up. It doesn't seem that it's pushing the beasts back.
I don't get a chance to
I'll-
drop that until it's my turn, right?
You can drop it as a free action if you want.
Anytime?
Yeah,
I'm gonna drop it now.
concentration spells. Unless it
Okay.
specifically states in the spell description, you have to drop it as a certain action, which this one does not.
Okay, yeah, I've dropped it.
Okay,
I'm gonna hold.
all right. Rock.
So Benson is saying hold until hold your action.
Just let me go first.
All right.
Let me go.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a bonus action though and rage,
All
and
right.
I'm gonna hold my action until
You're gonna
after-
ready. You're gonna ready your action. If you're
Ready
readying your
my
action, it's what are you doing? And the trigger is after Benson. So what is your action?
I
You're
don't know
raging, you
because
should
I
punch
don't know what. Yeah, I guess I'll punch. I'll use my mace and smack something nearby.
Okay, Chody, go.
Oh wait, and now I'm raging. Okay.
I would like to cast magic missile and hit each one of them with a magic missile.
Okay. Let's see.
Good answer. Good answer.
If it is hit by an attack, it is not being hit by an attack. It is being hit by a spell. So it hits unerringly. Go ahead and give me 2 more of those because each one's going to get 1.
Five, and 2.
Yeah, let me double check
Sorry,
something real quick.
I thought it would work.
If it is hit by
No
an
worries, good try.
attack specifically, yeah, it's a really good idea. Fuck it, I'm gonna give it to you. So
Not weapon attack? Oh, okay.
it's specifically an attack, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to you because I like it. It's like you're basically like beacon lighting them. So you watch as Benson kind of like tells you to hold back, holds his fingers up, snaps his fingers and points with his fingers in 3 points. You watch as blue beams kind of snap towards them, hit into the shadowy ones, and then snap into like where nothing is, revealing for just a second where the creatures are.
Okay, so I could take my action now to hit the one to the south.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Excellent.
Are you attacking recklessly? Oh, too late.
I don't have reckless attack.
That's right. So go ahead and mark your club down 1. It's going to be poor quality.
Okay.
Or sorry, fine quality. Yeah, it's just a solid miss. All right.
All that, put an arrow into that same target.
Since you didn't declare any kind of move, Donovan, as his attack action, is going to attempt to grapple you. Are you resisting him or no, Grok?
Wait, who's gonna attempt to grapple me?
Donovan.
No, I'm
All
not gonna resist him.
He jumps up onto your shoulders and kind of bear hugs you.
Say
With
again?
Audio.
Now,
He-
man.
How are we good?
Yeah.
Right
Okay.
now, yes.
He jumps up onto your back and kind of bear hugs you with his one arm, and his sword kind of sweeping out and around you. And you watch as his blade comes towards the displacer beast you just swung poorly at, as he kind of spins and pushes you back behind him, effectively swapping positions with you and him.
I'll take it.
And
Kind of cool.
actually, off to the side of it, he kind of pushes you out that way. And then
Hero.
he swings in on that one, and I haven't rolled it. Now I have. 11 will miss, fortunately. So
It was still cool.
it goes wide. He kind of lands and kind of grunts, and then looks at the one away from Rooklyn. Looks up at Rooklyn and says, "You got that one, okay?" As he stabs towards the one in the middle, and hits. Yeah, that's good. Cat kind of reels. It turned its attention facing Shambles, and then a sword stabs it in the butt. Ah! Let's out that. But yeah, he's done being awesome. Shambles, you're up.
My help turn him up or an arrow in the same one. Donovan, the last one he swung on, that middle one.
The middle one. Go with it.
12.
Whoo! Psh, hits a tree behind it. It's just a solid miss by 1, sadly.
Oh, that's right. It was 13.
Yeah.
It was
Really?
11 for a second. I was, what? Ah!
Like, why is it always me? Shambles.
Not those I can hide.
Okay. Go ahead and throw it. The DC for your stealth check is 11. If you get, you can't fail it. Never mind. Don't roll stealth anymore. We good.
All right.
I just
never roll stealth again.
well, no, for this cat fight,
Nah, ever.
we're good. I didn't realize it was plus 11. What did you say, Zach?
I'm gonna keep carving on this northernmost one.
Go nuts.
Doing it. 21, 27
Both are good.
for 9 and 9. If he's still standing, we're
He's-
going to give him the unarmed attack. It's
Just
a
now bloody.
9.
9's a miss.
Let's spend a key point and kick him again. Just
Alright.
it's a real solid kick. Golly. 8.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, a lot of missing there. Alright,
Is
so
my leg fine?
the cat who is stabbed in the butt and facing off against Shambles kind of looks at the situation as kind of a fight or flight kind of situation. And I'm going to go ahead and make a saving throw.
So Shambles is both fight and flight.
Alright. He is going to stick it out. The one to the west of him, the one against Rooklyn and Donovan, not hit as much, but still definitely fight or flight mode for him. He is going to take the... you see both of them, or all three of them rather, kind of lift their tentacles up and start waving them about, and then you see them kind of shift into their displacer stance. You watch as the one to the left, you see it standing there for a couple seconds, and then after a couple seconds after that, you see it appear about 30 feet down the way, running away. So it seems like it kind of left a tracer of itself and escaped, effectively getting the benefits of disengaging without having to take the disengage action. It's actually about 80 feet off map. It's booking it, and it's actually moving into the woods is what it would do. So it's effectively gone. The one here, it's so angry it's going to tentacle. One for you, which misses, and one for Donovan, which also misses. And then the one here has really no opportunity to run, but it is at a fight or flight stage for it, so it failed. It's going to take the dodge action, and it's going to back away. It looks like it's cowing. It's kind of like getting low, like, you know, when two cats fight, one will kind of back away, and like, I'm not a real big fan of this anymore. That's what it looks like that cat's doing. And it also reactivates its displacer aura. Brooklyn. Looks like they're on the run. The only one that seems to be really fighting is that one.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to it.
Is it visible or not?
It's not. Sorry, it would have reestablished.
25 for the first hit.
That'll work.
Yeah. What? No. Wow. Okay.
No, that'll
What?
work. That'll work.
He said no, like it missed. I was like, what?
I said yeah. I said yeah, that'll work. So 7 damage. All right.
And on that hit, I'm gonna cast Divine Smite.
Use your divine smite. Okay. 8 more. He's bloodied.
Swing again.
All right. Yeah, definitely.
9 on that one.
All right. Pretty well wounded. Not dead yet. Raya, you're up. He is no longer
Yeah, he's
displaced.
visible.
Yeah.
I'll shoot that one.
Yep. Hit.
Yeah.
Sneak. Not
Yeah,
enough.
16.
Well wounded. Pretty much on death's door. Yeah. Raya done. It'll go to Grok.
Produce flame is going to throw a flame at.
You can't cast spells, you're raging.
I will drop the rage
No, hold on a second.
as a bonus action.
I don't know if it works like that. Hold on. Sorry, I hate to be pedantic. It's just you're
No, it's okay.
very weird.
I want to follow the rules.
Very weird. Your rage lasts for 1 minute. It ends early if you are knocked unconscious or if your turn ends and you haven't attacked a hostile creature. You can also end it as a bonus action. Okay. So bonus action, get rid of it, and then produce flame.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, that didn't help. So is it just a ranged attack?
Yeah. It would be with your wisdom modifier.
How about that?
That works. 20 will hit. Damage. Click on the damage there. Alright. Still standing. Only just. Benson.
We're gonna do chilling touch on it.
Okay. Yeah.
23.
Hits.
18.
Yeah, you couldn't. Well, it's actually 9, but...
Oh, sorry, the 18.
It's 9, yeah. It's 9.
Alright. Okay. As you smack that one down, the cat that's kind of cowed here Donovan kind of reaches in towards it, and I'm gonna go ahead and make animal handling check.
Good
Is
kitty.
it gonna handle it?
I don't
Good
know.
kitty.
We'll see. Yep.
Holy crap.
Work that pussy.
He kind of like reaches in towards it. You see it's like cowing down, and like as he does so, he kind of grabs it by the ear and kind of reaches in like that and kind of goes, "Get out of here!" and kind of shakes its head. Does anybody have a problem with him letting it escape?
Yes.
As opposed to us using it as our own pet? What?
Oh, he doesn't gain the pet at that point.
Oh man,
don't
with that
think
24?
He's basically caused.
It's so awesome.
He shifted his condition from like hostile to afraid, not best friend. They're not best.
Aw.
Everybody always thinks animal handling is just for
That
that.
happens on
Yeah.
TV.
Does Shambles? You're the only one that's really adjacent to it. Are you going to stop Donovan from letting it escape?
I trust him.
I'm holding a bow and arrow, and I will attempt to kill it. These things are attacking people on the road.
Yeah. When it comes to your turn, that's fine. But
Yeah.
this isn't a used road.
No, but I mean, they went out to the other road and scavenged the bodies. Like, they are very capable of going out
Fair
and
enough.
killing travelers.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean,
That's a good point.
if you want, I mean, that's perfectly acceptable.
I
Also
feel
likes
like I
to kill
should kill it
stuff.
now that I think about that.
Well, he's got it cowed there, and instead of saying that, he'll just say, it'll be all over soon.
Lay down and take it.
Fair enough. The Displacer Beast does nothing. It does not take the dodge action. Brooklyn, we butchering this cat.
Yeah.
Go with it. I don't even need. Yeah, it's fine. It didn't have a lot of hit
Sounds like a
points.
kid. He's getting hurt. I don't even want to have anything to do with it.
Fair enough. It's a dead cat. All right.
Oh.
Okay. Cool. Pretty good timing on the end of that conflict. We're going to go ahead and call it, and we'll pick up next session with the remainder of the journey to, there'll be a watch because you aren't close enough to actually make it to, it's about day and a half's travel from Purple Light to Blue Gate. So there'll be still a half day's worth of travel for the beginning of next session. And we'll handle watch cycle at the beginning of next session as well. Thanks for watching. We'll pick up there. Super exciting travel. All right, killing the stream.